Of course, it look a little different because we doing a whole collaboration episode with the You're Done podcast. So it's the You're Dip podcast today.
Let's do it.
I thought y'all was going to do y'all's first.
We is. And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back.
Yeah.
And we are back with another episode of the You're Done podcast. We got you got Big Desto.
And
Not the little one.
And your girl, Be More, Nevertheless.
Yeah.
go ahead, give it to her, how?
What's up, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Dilt and Will podcast with your boy Hop with the sauce and my dog.
Young Hefe, man, back on the
Yes,
PODCST,
yes,
man.
sir. Of course, it look a little different because we doing a whole collaboration episode with the You're Done podcast. So it's the You're Dip podcast today. Yes, Sirski. Yes, Sirski. The women are going to be running the show today, so we're going to let them, lead the episode.
All right, y'all.
Yes.
We'll be back.
This is super cool, though.
It is.
It's hard for sure.
It's
Very
crazy.
impromptu.
Yeah.
Because we said that this morning that we should do like a little crossover episode. And on the last episode before we recorded, I literally just told Brittany that. Walked in, Corey like, yeah, we'll do an episode. And I'm like, okay.
Come on, look at that. Look at
That's
God.
what we doing.
You ask and you shall receive. Look at that. Amen.
Well, yeah. So today on the You're Dipped podcast, we are talking about the toxic family. We all got some family members that are just like, look, you can't pick your family.
Get to the back of the bus.
Come on now.
And we
But I think it's a good one because, interestingly, the way we know D is through Corey, and y'all know Corey is Destiny's husband. So, and not saying like this family is toxic. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we have created our own family, like through friendships, through marriages, and sometimes, well, all the time. You definitely can't pick your family, but then when it comes to friends that become family, that's a whole nother situation. So I think it's like a really great topic because we all come from different backgrounds, even though we all from Lamarck, but we've all had different experiences and different family dynamics. So I thought this was really cool because I know we have definitely had some, I don't even know if I want to call that I've had like issues with family members. I don't think I've ever had that, but we definitely have things that go on within family that is just like, if you come to Thanksgiving, cool, but I'm not gonna be able to meet you at Cheddar solo dolo.
Got you.
I feel like it's one of those things
for you,
right? Like we roll as like a little brief thing of saying like a lot of times when people are toxic or they have certain ways or just like look down upon, we always be like, that's just how they are, or not addressing certain issues that do go on within your family and just moving past it without actually fixing the issue, which then just go to the next generation, It's just like, oh, look, at some point somebody gotta be the chain. Okay?
Come on now.
So that's what we're talking about.
Come on now.
So what
Yeah,
y'all
man.
think?
You get them people in your family, you just know you got to love from a distance because they always into something or they always, they act a little weird around the family. They always got something attached to them. So everybody got that person or a few people. Me, I like to stay tucked in the cut. You know what I mean? I don't really deal with too many people. The family that I was born into ain't always the family that, I created. So I'm usually around the people that I, build a community with. And of course, it's not all family, but I like to have my peace before anything.
Yeah, bro. Like, I got friends that's more family to me than some family. Not all family, good family, and not all the people have like your best interest in mind. So I kind of just learned how to discern some people, and I got like family that I tolerate, and family that,
Right.
I just don't even I just know better, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a balance because again, like, I got friends that do more loyal things than family would, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I
for
got a
Even
sure.
black
question for the
people.
both of y'all.
Oh,
Oh,
Mm.
Oh, go ahead, Destiny.
no, I was just gonna point out how black people, like especially being from, like you said, we all from Lamarck, which is a very small town. We all
Mhm.
got that family that ain't even our family, but since your mama and my mama best friends, now we cousins.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Oh,
most
dead ass, dead
just
ass. Oh, I'm sorry, dead behind.
Yeah. Listen, listen.
definitely.
Dead gluteus
yes.
maximus. There we go.
Please help your girl out. I'm trying to do better. But I did have a quick question because sometimes I have thought like maybe my friends have felt more like family than my family members due to the fact
Mm,
that like you and your cousin could have grown up together, right? Y'all get to
mm,
high school, you go to college, or they go to college, or they don't go to college. And then they still thinking like, well, we was here. But you have
mm,
clearly evolved and your friends are willing
mm,
to go with you, as you're growing. They know like, okay, I met you freshman year, but you did that. Now you doing this. So do y'all feel like sometimes it's easier to kind of share things or consider like your friend to be more of a family member and somebody you can kind of confide in than your actual family members? The ones that try to keep you where y'all were when y'all were kids and y'all no
mm.
longer
That
y'all not in that space no more.
that's what I was exactly
I'm not
about to
running
say.
like that no more.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, like, I think it's because your family kinda, like, recognizes you as, the little kid that was running around at this
Yeah.
age and, they know that you wasn't this and you wasn't I don't know, you cried because somebody did this or whoop-de-whoop, but your friends kinda meet you where you at in that point in your life, and so,
Right.
like and you meet them as well, and then y'all keep, making each other better in their own ways because again, yeah, like you 'cause exactly like you said, I feel like they try to just keep their thumb on you and,
Mm,
they kinda just I ain't gonna say don't wanna see you doing better than them. Well, kinda you can say that because
Sometimes.
sometimes they just
Yeah.
be like, well, everybody's saying they proud of you, but not proud of me. Then it's
mm,
kinda like they get a solid resentment towards you, like, "Oh, they always think so and so doing better," which I don't think you should do that. But yeah, definitely, I think friends, there's probably just more excited to know you than your family. I think your family just got you in a box, kinda like you said, and
mm.
they just know you from being in that box, but your friends you know, know you outside of that box and the inside of
Yeah.
that box because you probably told them about it.
But
That's just
even
my take.
like in college is a space where, for me, especially where like you're growing into yourself for real. Like you said, I'm not the little girl that was eating little chicken nuggets
Mm,
anymore. Like I'm growing up and I'm finding myself. I'm figuring out who I am, and I feel like your friends are also in that same space. So everybody's giving each other that space to actually grow.
mm,
Like nobody is well, personally, nobody is trying, like, my friends are not trying to stay in that same space we was back in 2013 when we first met in college, like, everybody's growing and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but family just, like you said, they look at you like, "Oh, that's just little Destiny that eat all the time." Look, people still be saying, "Oh, she just eat." I don't even eat that much no more, and if you would know that if you talk to me on a regular basis, but you just like, you just stick to what you know and think that's just who I am, and it's just like, "Alright, I was a kid, yeah, I wanted the snacks, but I'm not a
right.
kid anymore, like, can we let that go? Like,
Mhm.
can I please grow
Yeah.
up?"
I think for me, I think it's a situation of like, we are close because, well, I have cousins that I'm very close with, right, on my dad's side in Louisiana. And I also have cousins that I'm close with on my mom's side as well. But in the same sense, it's like I feel like there's a relationship that was built solely off of because we are blood relatives. And then there's a relationship that was built because one, we either have interest, like as far as the community you build, right? We have similar interests, or we're going through similar things, or we're experiencing different things, but we can relate to each other in a commonality. So, us having something that we can bond over and create a genuine friendship because we are strangers first with
Yeah.
being blood relatives, we are usually introduced to our cousins or introduced to family members. When you meet a friend, you have to introduce yourself. So you have to show them who you are, and they have to show you who they are front hand, if that makes sense. Unless, of course, not all friends are going to be as, you know, long tenured or anything like that. Some friends have seasons, some friends run their course. But at the same time, I feel like the true, genuine friendships that you have that become family is because that we've met in this place or where I was originally, and we can watch each other mature and grow into the people that we are today. And of course, being held accountable. I feel like when it comes to blood relatives, there's this type of thing like what happens in the family stays in the
Mm.
family. But with the friendship, it's more so like, nah, if you're wrong, I'm gonna make sure that you know you're wrong. I'm gonna hold you accountable because I want to see you do better than with the decisions you made in this aspect. So
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
So
That
what
was
do you do with those family members that do have those toxic traits? It's like you said, and a lot of the times you don't call them out on it. A lot of the times, like
Mm,
especially for our family, I feel like we are constant. That's just who they are. That's just how they, that's just
mhm,
it is what it is type of thing. But at
yeah.
what point do
mhm,
you get to say like, can you like not do that? But I just feel like I don't know because for my family specifically, I just feel like even if you do say something or speak on how you feel,
mhm,
man, people just literally like they are okay with being like that. So it's like nothing that I can
mhm,
say even as a family member to be like we
mhm,
don't have that type of family dynamic to be like, "Hey, what you did I wouldn't have done it that way if I was you X, Y." They just be like, "Look,
mhm,
girl, whatever." And I'm like, "Well, I
mhm,
tried."
'Cause I think too that, like, if you the younger cousin or somebody trying to tell the older person, they immediately just think they just have to
yeah,
disregard what you say because they watched you grow up.
I changed your diapers.
That has nothing to do with nothing. Like, that don't mean you can't be
yeah,
wrong.
Right.
I know exactly what
Yeah.
you talking about.
And that's
But
annoying.
I think it's easier to I mean, if you put it like a friend, like if a friend do that, it's easy to be like, "I, Imma let you go." But I feel like because it's your family members, it's like, "Dang, what auntie gonna say?" Then when it get to cousin Pookie, he
mhm,
gonna have some like, it becomes more
mhm,
than what it needs to be, but I think
mhm,
at some point you have to and then just speaking on our family dynamics, like, Imma call out my Uncle Press. Like, I feel like he's been doing a pretty good job of trying to get everybody back together. Because I think
mhm,
we've all kinda been in, like, our own pockets of, like, this is how family's been since our grandmother passed away, like, we
mhm,
weren't like, extremely close, but at least on the holidays, it's like everybody showed up to grandma's house. Once
right,
grandma passed, it was just like, oh well, we gonna assume like this one person gonna do it, and then it's crazy because now it'll be Thanksgiving. They'll be like, oh this cousin cooked, oh this cousin cooked, like so ain't nobody say nothing. Like we could have
mhm,
just like if you was
Got
gonna cook
together.
that, you could have just called and
right,
brought that same plate by the house. Like why we all in different spaces? But I think because nobody wants to be called out, everybody thinking they doing it right, or maybe because we're older and we all have our own families now. It's just like, oh well,
mhm,
I don't want to deal with that.
Mm.
But I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just gotta call it out, and then for the family members that want to come around, that's who's gonna
mhm.
come around. And if you don't want to be here, listen, that's fine too.
I think too is like you said, people don't wanna be called out. And they're also comfortable in who they are. So it's
Yeah.
almost like, even if you do, it's like, well, I mean, that's just who I am. So either you take it or you leave it. And I think it's up to us to just be like, all right, I give you this information. I'm letting you know, but it's not my job to make you change or do anything differently. As long as I've done my due diligence and my job to present this to you, to let you know this is how you need to change or what you need to change. If you don't take that, that's cool. Now is my job to make a decision and have discernment to say, well, I love you, but I'm gonna love you from a distance. I'll just keep it
Yeah.
at that. And then with the like family dynamic, for me, I love like when we used to have family reunions and things like that. And then when you have like the matriarchs and the patriarchs, kind of, go on to see them if you will. That kind of bond and that family gathering and get together loses its luster because those um, people who were once the glue are no longer apart,
Mhm.
and everyone is living their own lives. but we all live our own lives individually. So it's harder to check in with so and so, even if you had some type of closeness. I feel like we're so tapped into what we got going on, it's hard to think about others. So trying to recreate, because your family is a community regardless. So whether it's blood, whether it's a community you build, I feel like us as adults, we have to understand there are certain people we want in our community. So if we can try to build something similar to what we used to have, if you had that at a point in time, then it's okay to choose the right ones to say, okay, I want to at least build this and have a starting point to say, let's try to bring this back to where we used to have it, where we have family gatherings, where we have family get togethers or family reunions where we're all just enjoying instead of having to show up at someone's funeral and then in the repast or something like that. Now we're getting to kick it and stuff like that. We shouldn't always have to come together when someone is leaving this earth. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
But black people got
which
that
I
bad,
think is
they'll
a big
say that
thing in
at
the
every
Black community.
funeral. They'll say it at every
mhm.
funeral.
We need to do
"Yeah,
this more often.
yeah, we need to do
Right,
better.
but
The
I
only
think
time
you
we
gotta
see
just
each
take
other
it
Yeah.
is
as a
when."
Yep.
yeah, but I think you just gotta take the family members that wanna be there to be there. I think
Exactly,
if
exactly.
if if Uncle Joe say he ain't doing that, it's all right, Uncle Joe, then
Oh.
stay on
Don't
over
be
there,
mad when you don't get invited.
right?
Mhm,
Because they ain't got nothing to do with me. But I think because we don't put ourselves out there sometimes,
mhm,
and we don't want to deal with it. And it's like, well, it's been this way. And then I tried one time, then we kind of let it go. So it's like somebody got to do it. And then once that one person is doing it, instead of looking at it like, this only gonna happen like 2 times, it's like we both have to keep extending that olive branch for it to
mhm,
happen. And I think if we keep doing that, then again, like the people that want to be there will be there. And if you don't want to change, then you ain't gonna change. And that's fine too. And you gotta learn how to set those boundaries as well. Cause the like we're not the little cousins no more. Like our grandparents, Destiny, I don't think we don't have any grandparents.
Mm-mm.
Do we? Nope. All our
No.
grandparents gone. So it's like we're about to be the next ones up. And it's like if we don't do it and we can't get the other cousins to buy into that and
mhm,
try to create something, then we like it's done. Like my kids
mhm,
barely know any of their cousins, but it's really up to me to make sure that even though Destiny lives, states away from me, that Nova, Brielle, okay, I got too many kids and Deuce all hang out with each other, and that we still go see Pay and like we make these things a priority. But if it's just
mhm,
always like, well, every time I call you, you tripping, then the family it really ain't gonna be no family. It's really just gonna be me and Destiny kids.
Right, because I also feel like with that, like I said, our family, we are all on different levels. Certain things that my family is doing, and like you're saying, with our kids, we're gonna. I mean, me and Brittany was raised like we got the same pretty much moral standards, whatever. Like we're on the same page and with most
Yeah.
life things, right?
mhm,
I feel
Yeah.
like with outside, well, like other cousins, family members, or whatever the case, they doing whatever they do over there. I necessarily don't want to expose just because that's family. I don't want my child over there because all y'all do is smoke weed, cuss, and throw play spades all day. And while that is fun, I like a good game of dominoes and stuff. Like I love hanging out with my family. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like I'm building my own family too, and certain things that y'all are doing, I just
mhm,
look, I just don't wanna be around that, and I don't wanna bring my child around that, and it's the I feel like
mhm,
instances like that separate the family even more, but I
Yeah.
can't make somebody live a life according to how I chose to live my life, and I feel like I
mhm,
don't
Yeah.
how do you balance the 2 of, like, I know that I can go over there and be just fine, be like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't wanna hit it," you know? I'm just here for the food and the company.
Yeah.
But how do you like, my kid, I don't know, that, "Mommy, what is that?" Look,
Oh,
turn your
now
head.
there we go.
I think for me, because I realized, like, what my parents did was, like, we went every summer to my family in Louisiana, and he left us there. So, like, we would spend the entire summer with just our cousins and aunts, whether the good, bad, or indifferent, we had to experience those things, and I feel like having that balance to understand that everything is not gonna like as parents, we try to unlearn a lot of things, right? We try to make sure our kids don't get exposed to certain things that we was, but also with the things that we were exposed to that we don't necessarily agree to, I feel like it built some type of character or it built some type of wherewithal where we know, okay, that's not what I want to do, but I understand this is the environment that these people grew up in, whether they're my family, um, aunts, uncles, or whatever, they had a different experience than I did. But also getting to see those type of things, I know how to navigate in any type of situation to where I'm not just looked as like too good or uppity or anything like that. Well, I don't care about, labels or anything, but I want my kids to be able to go in any type of environment and thrive rather than thinking I have to make sure that I don't place them in these situations, which as a dad is a good thing, but they also need to learn what it means to have thick skin and build some type of grit or some type of character building because life is not going to always give you those opportunities to be protected or be comfortable, if that makes sense.
I
Yeah,
agree. Still
I agree
something
with that.
you should not.
I think
No, but it's so funny because I'm thinking like maybe it's because we all ended up at one house, so it's like
Mm,
it wasn't
yeah.
like you had like your one best cousin. It's like all your
Right.
cousins showed up at this one house. Like if I went to Aunt Cindy house, it's at least 3 or 4 of us over there. Like that's just
Hmm.
how that was. But it's also different because Destiny had a very different childhood. I
Mm,
like if I talk about my childhood, I'm talking about me and Katrina being placed outside in a one of them little blow up pools with drawers on and a white t-shirt and saying have fun this summer and then going down to eat at the cool cup shop
hmm.
down the
Yep.
street.
Yep.
Like that's just what it was. And so now like I got little cousins out here with cell phones and they have full access to their iPads. Well, Brielle is 9 and she don't get to see what no 13-year-old get to see on her iPad. Like the iPad's cut off at a certain time. And
Mm,
so it's just like, yeah, if I leave them, like, are you watching my kid? Like I would watch your kid. Is my kid
mhm.
being like I get what Destiny was saying, like is my kid being exposed to something that I'm gonna have
Yep.
to explain? And not only that, I don't feel like sometimes cousins be out here protecting cousins like we did back in the day. Like if me and Katrina is out, I know
Yeah.
she got my back and I got her back.
Yeah.
But that's bottom line. Like I would go to high school and if my oldest cousin saw me, he would be like, "Hey, watch out for my little cousin." And I'd be like, "Where the heck you come from?" But now I feel
Mm,
like our cousins, all of them literally could be at the same event. First off, not even knowing they cousins. Crazy work. And then two, being like, "Oh, that's their problem." And that right there is
yep.
is like a scary situation for me to put my kids in. And I'm like, how do you bridge that gap since we're so far now?
Mm. Uh, it's hard now because it's like the world has opened up to this generation of kids. So with us, we grew up outside. We grew up not so much on cell phones until a certain point in our lives, in our childhood. So we got to enjoy what it means to have real human interactions first, rather
Mhm.
than seeing certain things online and then having our brains wired to what we saw online. Because now I feel like with everything that's going on, people are trying to obtain things that they see. And so they're trying to build themselves a character out of what they intake online and stuff like that. So they're parenting from a screen. And for me, with my kids, I try to make sure that we have some type of balance to where it's like, all right, yeah, you get to watch TV or watch the screen for a certain amount of time, but you need to know who your cousins is. You need to know
Yeah.
what it means to have real human interactions. And also know what it means to have some disagreements with your cousins. You know what I mean? They fight from now, from time to time. They learn how to defend themselves with each other, but they also know that my cousin not gonna play about me. And I think that's what back in the day we built, where it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, we're spending, like you said, we're spending time with our cousins in bunches, not just one-on-one time. It's like we're all together in one environment together. So even when our parents are not there, when our aunt and uncles aren't there, we're in the situations where we have to deal with another group of kids who we don't really agree with. We all know we all better make it to this house together. You know what I mean? At the
Yeah.
end of the day. So I think now it's harder because people mind has changed, the time has changed, and I think we're choosing to go for convenience rather than to actually do the hard work and teaching our kids what it means to be, a friend, what it means to be family, what it means to be a cousin, a brother, a sister, and things like that, where we learn those things pretty quick. When me and my brother got into it, we either sat and hug each other for hours on end to know we're not supposed to fight each other, or we had some type of punishment to know like you're not supposed to be fighting each other. Y'all supposed to be fighting everybody else and protecting each other. Same thing with our
Yeah.
cousins. I think now we choose convenience because it's easy to get them to stop crying, get them to stop fighting when all I have to do is just hand them an iPad or something like that because it takes the pressure off of us. And I feel like we have to go back to laying the groundwork and putting in the hard work of actually raising our kids and not just watching our kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Dang, okay, bringing in the psychology of it.
I'm
Okay.
trying, I'm trying.
He said
I'm on the you're done and the dipped and whipped together, so I gotta bring the levity. You know what I
that
mean?
I
boy say,
got
"I'm a father."
You did that. You did that.
Nah, young health, what you got, man? You been a little quiet.
I just been
Right?
listening, but I think I was gonna ask, like, do you think technology has built that the gap that from the older generation to us? Because people nowadays think that keeping in contact with you is just like FaceTiming you once a month.
Mm,
Because like you said, at my grandma's house, like me, Keith, Lil Will, Lexi, all my cousins, and
mhm,
Fat Marcus Black, all the Nelsons. We used to convene at one house just like everybody else said, but I think I don't like I'm wondering, okay, what caused the gap? Like why did everybody stop? Like Deja's the glue because she throws all the family reunions. So it's like, what caused the gap? Because back then you used to see like people like, yeah, I'm going to my family reunion this summer, or I got a
mhm,
family reunion. Like you rarely ever hear
mhm.
about that. Like now, people just come with the shirts
Yeah.
and what I'm saying? Now people just electric sliding at your repass. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's just
Bro,
like what caused so the
right next to the
eating
fried
a
chicken.
real yeah, next to your body is crazy.
Right.
For real.
Yeah, hitting the electric slide is
Talking about
crazy.
this for you. Like, boy, please.
That boy
Tamia,
has
not
like,
everybody Tamia and then got their boots on the
oh, man.
ground when you die. But I'm saying
No, for real.
like what I think the gap is like people think that like you said, it's the conveniency. Like people just people think a phone call is like keeping up with them. I don't think so.
Mhm,
Because like there's
Yeah.
substance in like coming in person and talking or just spending time, right?
mhm,
So, but if a phone call is what you limited to, then, I understand. But I think, those people back in the day didn't actually see each other or talk to each other unless it was through a
mhm,
landline. Now we got the conveniency like, oh, I seen Brittany, she posted last week. People think that's
You
seeing
know
me.
Yeah.
That's not seeing me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
you
So
know what I
I
think.
think I'm just asking like what
Mhm.
does everybody think that the gap is? Because to me that's the gap is the conveniency of
That's
the
a good
phone.
question though.
I believe the gap in itself is everyone. So when we were younger, there was like you said, Deja is the glue, right? There was someone who was the glue, right? You had that person no matter what. So that person was always gonna make sure that people show up, that this get done, that everybody makes sure it's a family reunion. It's gonna be held at their house. It's gonna be this, that, and the third. Everybody gonna be there. Everybody needs to be there. Um, and I feel like the gap was created when those people started dying off. Everyone felt like it was only one it was one person who used to do it, so somebody else is gonna pick it up, you know what I mean? Somebody else is gonna be the glue rather than choosing to be the glue for the family, if that makes sense. Because being the glue is hard work, like, people don't talk about what it is and how much, organizing and how how long you have to do that, like, I have to make sure I keep up with everybody, I have to keep up with this, that, and the third, my kids, my sister's kids, you know what I mean, and they kids. So it's like it's a lot of pressure, and I think everyone does not want that pressure, but they want to enjoy the fruits of that labor, and it's like someone needs to be the glue, and I feel like a lot of times we sit there it's a convenience thing, but I feel like it's also like someone's done it, so someone else is gonna pick it up, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be me because 'cause it'll get done, and I feel like with anything in life, something is not gonna get done unless you do something about it. So, if you're relying on somebody else to do something that you're already thinking about, then why not be that person to be the glue? Because if you're the glue, yes, it's a lot of pressure and stuff, but at least you can get your kids to have the same feeling that you once had when it was going to family reunions or family gatherings rather than having to meet up every other year for someone is passing. So,
Yeah, but that's where it get
Dang.
annoying because people don't mind pulling up, but not only do they pull up, they be empty-handed, and like you said,
mhm,
it's a lot of money that go into keeping up with the
that's true.
family.
That's
And it's
true.
just like
Yeah.
at one point, like, yes, it does. It can't take that one person and be like, "Hey, everybody, just come to my house." But that
Mhm,
is a lot. And then in this economy, and then they be like, then you got
that's
one cousin,
true.
"Ooh, make sure you make this." Oh, and another cousin, "Ooh, I love when you make." Look, see, we all finna get this
Yeah.
one piece cobbler. Y'all
For
gonna
real,
like
for
it.
real.
Whoever
Look
get
I
the
don't know.
first bite.
Look, and this is how you get people. This is how you get people. You let them know, look, first of all, we gotta let everybody know to be there an hour beforehand. So it don't start at 5, it start at 3:30. So everybody
Right.
gonna pull up at 4:30 right on time. You're early enough so we can, you know what I mean? But also you let people know, like, don't show up to this thing empty-handed.
And
Cause
then
if
take a
you want
plate.
for real, because if you want something, you better bring it. This is what we gonna have here, but at the same time, if you have something in mind that you want, you better bring it. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we not about to be and all the food gotta go. So everybody,
Yeah.
I need everybody to take a plate. Everybody take something. This gotta go because before the day end, I'm not cleaning up everything. You know what I mean?
'Cause a
Everybody
cousin
need
will
to
Well,
clean
show
I
up.
up and
I
leave
think
right after they ate.
yeah, I think sometimes we gotta put it back on us because I think when grandma did it, there was no expectation. Like grandma
Mm,
cooked everything. She didn't ask you to bring a plate. She cooked what
mm,
she cooked, right?
that's true.
And if
Yeah.
you showed up, you showed up. And if she said, "Little Jimmy, oh, little Jimmy didn't come again," like little Jimmy didn't come, then all the other cousins was gonna say, "Little Jimmy was over there at Carver Park. That's where little Jimmy been there for the past 3 weeks." It is
Mm,
what it is. I think with our generation, I think sometimes maybe it's we're trying to accommodate for everybody. Oh well, she got them 3 kids, and then the little one got so make sure you hit them up. And it's like, nah, like take it back to grandma days. Like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to send out the invitation because this is all I'm going to do. If you would
mhm,
love to bring anything, then you do that. And if you going to
mhm,
come, then you going to come and here's the time. Grandma ain't have to send out no text. Matter of fact, she, like Dee was saying, she called you on the landline. Be at
mhm,
the house at 5. That
mm,
was the plan. I think we have to stop putting all these accommodations out for everybody, and we have
mhm,
to stop saying,
Mm.
"Oh, well, I want to make sure everybody feel comfortable." Grandma did what grandma did, and grandma did it in a Sundance apartment,
mm.
and it
Come
was
on, talk
just
to him
fine.
now.
And we had a blast.
Come
It
on
was
now.
just fine.
Right.
It's like we gotta make everything elaborate. We gotta have the balloon arch. I gotta have the barbecue over here. Then I gotta have the margarita machine and the ninja
Mhm.
slushy for the
Yeah.
kids. Baby, if
Mhm.
you
You ain't
don't get
lying.
them Kool-Aid pouches
I'm
Right.
with you
and
when you're right.
hot
Come
Hot
on now.
dog,
dog.
Preach
Yeah.
to him. Preach
Capri
to him,
right?
cause
Sun.
I
And it's
hear
not
you.
a chili dog. It's a hot dog. You
Dr.
get
Thunder.
mustard
Mustard and
or ketchup.
ketchup.
RC. Don't
RC
forget the
Cola.
RC. Come
Yeah.
on now.
Mr.
Come
Orange
on
and,
now.
and Mrs. Grape.
The
Whoever.
only thing you'll probably have is Sunkiss. That might be the only name
Right.
brand. That or
Right.
Oh yeah,
Hawaiian
that's
Punch.
it. That's it. And if you want it to be better than that, then I suggest you throw it the
Bring
next
you.
time. You
Mhm.
know,
Right.
but
Uh,
I do
mhm.
agree, and I think I think Destiny was saying it because, but that has also been the issue. Like someone has taken over in our family, and then it's, well, why you ain't do it like this? Baby, if you was gonna have all these suggestions, I don't know
You
why
Go
you
should
wasn't
ahead.
on
be.
the committee. When I
Go ahead.
sent
Yeah.
out the
Why
text
you?
to say we was gonna do it, that should have been your opportunity to say,
Yep.
well, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, because our mama usually is the one who would have, if we're gonna quote unquote say was gonna take over, it would have been her. So if you
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was some other stuff that could have been played out, instead of inviting your friends, you should have just reached out and said, hey, I also think we could do this. Then do that. But I think as a family, a lot of people don't want to do that. And so you just rather complain about what wasn't done rather than trying to help out. Because at the end of the day, we're all living in the same economy. We're all doing the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't care if my house is bigger than yours. In order to maintain my house, I have to work to maintain my house. You
Mm-hmm.
have to work to maintain your apartment. I'm not understanding why you think because I got the house, I'm gonna be doing more than what you doing. First off, I ain't even
Mm-hmm.
asked you to do more. I asked you to bring the paper plates.
Right.
Calm down.
That's
Pipe it
it.
down. That's it.
Said
So what
you
you
get a
complaining for?
200 count from Sam's. $12. You couldn't do that.
Stop playing with me. So I think for our generation, also to answer Corey's question, I think we've seen on the back end as the cousins coming forward now, all the complaining and all the things the person in front of us had to endure once grandma passed. And it's like, bruh, I'm married now. I got my own kids. I really don't have time to deal with, Lil
Mm-hmm.
Joe issues and his 4 baby mamas and what cousin coming, who not, who's the new kid you got. Boy,
Mm-hmm.
nah. And so I think we kind of on our own too. We've taken a back seat because it's like, I'm not fit to deal with that. I don't have the capacity to do what grandma did. She
Mm-hmm.
did it knowing that somebody may be over there to steal something. Baby, get up out my room. This is why the door was always closed and locked when the old dude came over, because he about to steal something. He
You
coming with
also
something.
what I
Man.
believe too is like you know how family be beefing and stuff like that. I feel like the person who was like the glue to bring it, like they made it a point to where like, okay, y'all beefing or whatever, but y'all still family, so y'all better show up,
Yeah.
and I need to see both of y'all in front of me squash whatever y'all got going on because y'all family, right? Nowadays, I feel like we learned that there are some things that we don't want to recreate in our family, right? Like there are certain traumas, there are certain things where it's like, I don't want that for myself and I don't want that for my kids because it perpetuate the word that I was trying to say because the boy that was a slip. Uh, so what it does, it just keeps it going, right? And it trickles down to everyone. And there's a lot of things we choose to not bring from our family, bring from the family gathering and stuff like that, and we're trying to change that, but there's some people who are still stuck in their ways. So it's
Yeah.
hard to create something that can close that gap when we're thinking on a more nuanced thing, like we're having nuanced discussions where maybe somebody who is older than us is not as nuanced, not as progressive as we are nowadays. You know what I mean? So there's
Right.
certain things I feel like are going to clash now because you either have someone who's progressed along with time, who's developed and matured along with time, and there's still some people who will never mature, even if they're older than you, even if they have some type of, seniority over you, whatever you want to call it. It's like they will not progress or they will not mature. So it's harder to get those. Because I've made a group chat with my cousins and said, "Hey, man, I want to try to get the family back together." And I have some cousin who's like, "Bruh, like I'm down. Me and my kids are down. I know such and such is down, but it's gonna be hard trying to get everybody else because they not, they don't want to go nowhere. And then sometimes you have laziness. Some people don't want to get up and do nothing. People just
Yeah.
like being in a bubble. They don't want to drive 4 hours or drive 2 hours or however long it takes to exert that energy just to show up and enjoy family. It's harder to do those things nowadays because everything is so convenient. Like, we got DoorDash, we got things that are at our disposal. So if I'm if I've been, accustomed to not having to get up even for food, why would I go drive 4 hours just to go see family when I can just FaceTime you like Corey said? That's not really checking in. I need to see you physically. I need to make sure that, like, how you been? I remember growing up, families used to see us from, you know, little little tykes, and then now I may be 10, 13 years old. They like, "Oh boy, you got big. Last time I seen you, you was down here." You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
feel like we've lost that because of how easy it is to access everything, how easy it is for us just to have everything at the touch of our hand. Like, I can just call you and say, "Oh, have a conversation and be cool." But it doesn't just stop at a conversation over the phone. It leads to, how can we get together? You know what I mean? And I think we
Yeah.
stop asking that question, how can we get together? And we settle for, how have you been and what you up to,
Yeah.
rather
But
than
who gonna wanna
asking.
be there? It's gonna be there.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah, that's
Cause like
true.
once I post that I beat you in head, shoulders, cup, like don't comment saying like you couldn't make it. Cause I just saw you post that you was down in Panama City for spring break.
Mhm,
That's crazy work
mhm.
that you
That's
you
true.
you made that. You bought a
That's
Legion. So
true.
not only did you put your life in jeopardy by flying Spirit, but you couldn't drive to come hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, for real.
So I feel
People
like it
priorities.
also, yeah, it hinders us because we like, dang, like that cousin couldn't make it this time or this but I like we're saying if we want to fill in the gap, and if you said Deja, right? Corey is the one keeping y'all
Mm.
together.
Mhm.
If she's the one doing that, then it's also on us to say, hey, Deja, like, hey, anything going on, anything I can do, I'm gonna make sure I can make it, this week. Just let me know 2 weeks ahead of time or whatever, so I can make sure I'm taking off. Those people want to try and be there. Maybe you did miss the first one, but when she bring it back around in the group chat, then honey, you need to be active. And if you don't, then it shouldn't hinder the people trying to keep everybody together or to do stuff to say, hey, now I'm just gonna shoot the text and say, hey, well, don't be mad when my kid don't know your kid. Don't be out here
Mm,
spreading nothing like, oh, the family ain't doing nothing when it's you who don't want to come around. I think that
mhm,
ends up being most of the problem of why we stop doing something, because once I hear you talking mess, from you didn't show up. This is why when we do have a funeral, your picture not up on the screen with the slideshow, cause you ain't showed
mhm,
up to nothing. Don't
Right.
come up here
mhm.
asking me no questions now, cause you're about to make me upset.
In the church house.
So I
Come
think
on
we
Media
now.
just
to
gotta put
grandma.
the plan in motion, and go from there. And if you want to be family oriented, like you're going to be family oriented, and it doesn't have to be this big shebang. Like, hey, I'm gonna do game night at the house. BYOB, and I'm making Rotel nachos in the crock pot.
Mm,
Let's do this.
I
My
think,
family
yeah,
like
like
to
you
drink
said,
anyways. As long as you got one red Solo cup, they solid.
right. I think that everybody just took the simplicity out of it. And I think maybe
that's true.
technology is where the gap came into play, honestly.
Mm,
Yeah.
Or aesthetic ruins everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm
People get
that's
saying.
so
true.
worried
Yeah.
about how it
Simplicity.
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah.
But
Everything gotta have a theme.
if it ain't on
Girl,
Yeah.
right,
come
that
on.
Because
So,
they
ain't on
want to post
Pinterest.
it. They want to post everything. They want to show that,
Yes.
look
That's
at
why I'm
what I
saying
done. You know what I
technology.
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
ain't did nothing but show up.
Cause
Girls,
if
sit
you
down.
cause I can easily miss an event and just see, oh, what happened online. Whereas back in
mhm.
the day, if you missed it, you missed it.
You heard about
For
Yeah.
real, because we got
But we out
stories
of
to tell.
time.
Right. Now you
Right.
feel left out.
We out of time. When you hear that, you know
Time was
your ass
bad.
Exactly.
right.
You missed
Yeah.
it. You missed it.
I
Mm.
miss Sunday school.
So yeah, those
No,
family
man, they
members that
ain't.
just don't wanna be family, like people don't wanna be family no more, really.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I like
that's
what you
really
said.
what it
Keep it
is.
simple though, because even
Yeah.
Uno too complicated, baby. What happened to just
Yeah,
Uno
bro.
Uno
All,
out?
all I need is the regular deck. We
Thank
we
you.
Right.
we
I
we
don't
gonna
need the
figure
one
it out
I
that
at
don't
the
spit
need the
out the
Uno
card.
flip. They got Dose now. They
Uno
got
No,
too
swap.
much.
Uno, what they call a new one with all the is nothing but draw cards.
I
Uno
don't know.
Unbreakable or
They
something
got
like that.
no.
Uno
They
Oh,
trying to
man.
attack,
No
call
mercy.
Uno.
Uno, no mercy. So it's like,
no.
bruh, some
Mm-mm.
dominoes, we play some spades, we get it going, some great music. I think also where the gap has been, that finger wave is deadly. Also, where that gap has been is the music. I feel like music plays a proponent, and perpetuate was the word that I slipped on. Music played a good role in why it's harder, because I feel like the timeless music that we are accustomed to, we can listen to any given day, right? But I feel
Mhm.
like with this generation, it's harder to get them to pay attention and listen to what we used to listen to and actually enjoy it while having a good time, because it's so much negativity out in the world. So not only does social media, kind of coincide with the music that is being shown, but the music is also coinciding with other degenerative things
Jeez,
like,
Mhm.
you see me slipping
okay.
again, huh? Well,
It's
I'm on
okay. I
ice
wasn't
right
gonna
now.
say nothing. You had it.
But but like just with those things we are accustomed to, where it used to be looked looked frowned upon somebody being a drug addict. Now most of the artists are doing drugs. It used to
Yeah.
be where people, if they was a gangster, you didn't know unless you saw them. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I'm talking about, murdering this, that, and the third. But now it's like, I'm happy to show how many bodies I have. I'm happy that I've been in and out of prisons, where the stories that was told in the past was like, these were the things I had to go through. Now I made it out of this. Rather than saying, okay, these are things I had to go through, but not only do I still want to be in this, but I want to bring y'all in this as well. And I feel like the music has also created a gap for us to, like, nowadays, I hardly listen to any type of hip hop. It's mostly R&B for me, because I feel like it's a lot more soothing, and it's a lot more stable. It has more substance. But even with the R&B music that we have nowadays, it's a lot harder to find those songs that have substance. Now, I'm not saying the songs that we listened to in the past, some of them wasn't, crazy, because they were, but at the same time, you had more that had substance than not, rather than now you have some that are just like fodder, if you will, because it's like, Imma just put out a good song, but I don't care about what the message is. As long as
Yeah.
it's catchy, as long as it's good, as long as it's making me money and I'm getting clicks, that's all that matters.
'Cause they ain't talking about nothing. It's just a half
Oh.
solid good beat and a whole bunch
Mhm.
of damn damn damn
And it
beginning.
only lasts 5 seconds, because the music we had, that thing went on for 10 minutes.
Oh,
Bro,
You
that
yeah.
started
family
off with
reunion
a whole
song,
beat.
bro. The song's
Boy.
literally called Family Reunion. Let the family reunion. They was
The goat.
already
Yes.
on top.
Best stuff
Man.
ever.
Yeah.
Dang.
Come on, man.
Go watch early in the
Damn.
morning with whatchamacallit, the Gap Band. Bro, they was dancing from 0000 to 10 minutes 000
Because nowadays,
in a leotard
if you ain't if you ain't playing
with
young boy at the
fringe.
function, all the little cousins, they in their phone, they on
Oh,
TikTok, they
for
ain't talk
real.
to nobody the whole
For
time.
real.
Fringe.
Baby,
They
I was singing Johnny Taylor with my grandma.
Come
I'm like,
on,
what
wait a
the
man.
heck?
What?
minute.
Sam
All
Cooke?
of my
Marvin Gaye?
Something.
With
They
it.
was dancing the fringe off their uniforms.
Right. Nowadays, kids to come in, sit on the couch, they
Get
on their
some fringe,
phone.
get some fringy potato salad and
Mm.
dance a little hard.
They
Also, I
That
think
part.
I think a respect factor as well. Like, we was taught, there has to be like a certain amount of respect for everyone, whether you agree with them or not. There has to be some level of respect, unless you know, given that person disrespect you, then it's up. But at the same time, I feel like we was instilled with a certain amount of respect up until we got older and realized, like, all right, bruh, like, y'all just tripping with that, just respect them just because. Like, everybody needs to earn it. I think nowadays it's almost as if, like, I should be entitled to the respect before I have to give it. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to be. If we can mutually agree that regardless whether we agree on topics or each other's actions, if we can mutually agree that I'm gonna respect you as long as we in this space, cool. But I think that's went out the window. The respect factor
Yeah.
of the environment, the respect factor of what community building is and what we're trying to do. Like, if you don't respect that, if you don't respect what we got going on, then it's not going to work for nobody because the main thing is that this needs to be sacred, this needs to be respected, and this needs to be done correctly. And everybody needs to have that same respect for what we're doing or what we're trying to do.
Or just have like people like just no longer have an expectation.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you
Preach.
expect like, oh, like kind of like Brittany said, like if we expect Deja or whoever else or Miss Doris to assume responsibility and duty, why don't we all just take initiative?
Mhm.
And you take initiative, then everybody should run into each other anywhere at the finish line. Because
Yeah.
and then stop having also stop having like expectation that somebody's going to be like, they're like, okay, yeah, say you got a cousin you don't like or somebody or a toxic family member. Just don't have the expectation that they're
Mhm.
going to be anything different than what you know them as so they show you. That don't mean treat them
Yeah.
no different, but
Yeah.
like you said, just no longer have an expectation
No.
and then just have the initiative to do whatever it is if you want. It's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause that
Yeah.
respect thing goes a long way. Cause we got cousins that let their little kids come over and not speak. Back in the day, you better go
Mhm.
back outside
Yeah.
and try it
Yeah.
again.
Crazy.
Or just again,
That
just
Crazy.
let it
part.
exactly.
Listen.
Take the initiative to tell them what your expectation is that when you come in this house, you speak to
Yeah,
everybody in here, black,
that's why I
brown,
said
gray, or blue.
family ain't family no more.
Right.
Mhm.
Amen.
So
Well,
what
I
I
we
get
just
what we
listen.
done with?
I think that was perfect to say like what we would be done with.
What Corey said, because I think I would do better with like trying to help fill in the gap. You know, even if it's something small, and whoever gonna show up, and we gonna have a good time, and I ain't gonna be worried about who ain't showed up. I'm gonna pour into the people that decided to come through.
There you
So
go.
Mhm. Yeah, I think
Fill
I'm
in
done
the
with that
gap.
too. I've been done with
yeah,
that action.
mm,
It is what
that
it
part.
is.
Yeah,
What you done with, D?
Yeah. I'm done with wasting time, man. Like,
yeah,
no more talking about it. Let's put it together. Or I'll be the glue. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes, let's get it together. Whoever, like y'all say, whoever show up, show up. If not, cool. I'm not gonna worry about it. But at the end of the day, let's get it done. Like with anything, if you wait and try to get everything, all the ducks in a row and wait till it's the perfect time, it'll never be the perfect time.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's all about trial and error.
Amen.
Let's get it done. Let's start it. At least if it don't, if it don't turn out all the way right, now you know what to improve on next time. But I'm done with waiting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm, My do-
All
my
right,
dog Young
boo,
Hef,
y'all.
what you done with?
mm, like kind of like expectations. Don't have expectation that somebody gonna do something for you or somebody
Yeah.
gonna do it. Is like kind of like we said, if you want to be the glue, then everybody should run into each other at the finish line. Everybody take initiative
Mm,
and don't have expectations something gonna happen. Again, y'all should just run
yeah.
into each other on the way there because it's like, oh, okay, I was doing that too. Cool, cool. But then, now everybody on the same page. And again, it don't have to be the most beautiful festivity, but if
Okay.
you there, you
Now
there
I
for the
need to
right.
know.
If you there for the aesthetic, you in the
I
wrong place.
like.
Right.
Now
Period.
I need to know for our segment what y'all dipped in. What y'all dipped in. I know we looking calm.
Look,
I know we looking calm. I
I'm gonna
need to
go
know what
first
we
because
dipped in
mine's
today.
simple. Baby, I got on a shirt
Yeah.
that's too small because none of my clothes
Yeah.
You got Nova and
and some
Nova.
sweatpants from Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
What you got on Nova?
Don't forget the infamous
Yeah.
blanket.
Nova got
Oh, and my
Yes.
blanket. This from Target.
Mhm.
Yeah. We don't speak of them heathens.
Well, I bought this years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That was before.
Okay.
All
Appreciate
And
that.
Nova, Nova got her juice on.
Yeah, Nova got her amniotic
right.
fluid on.
Let me have it feel it is.
For
The
real.
best drip.
What you got on? Make it fast for Brendan camera. Be
Again,
done.
I got on that Ross
Yeah.
Camo.
got a hat that was given to me by my boy Thomas. Say
Yeah.
that. What it say?
Dad Club.
Dad Club. You know your boy
Daddy
like his
Club.
daddy. And
All
some
right.
Yeah.
sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? We at the crib.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
are.
Yeah, you know you gonna take a minute.
Yeah,
You
nah,
got
I
it
ain't gonna
all. You
take
got
too
it
long
all.
because y'all seen it on one of the other episodes. I'm just dipped in the monochromatic. You know what I mean? I went
That's
blue
it.
to stay true. That's all. You know what I mean? I had to
Okay,
go a
he's
little
done.
Dapper Dan, little 50s. You know what I mean? Little grease
Twist.
lightning, if you will. A
Yeah.
little footloose, if you will.
Yeah.
And what you rocking,
What about you,
Brittany?
Brittany?
You know, got me a nice little knitted sweater from Forever 21.
Yeah, there we go. I ain't heard of them in
Light.
forever.
Just a light day.
You know, look, a little crop top situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Got me on some nice little blue jeans with one hole at the knee because you got to have at least one,
Gotta
Got to
breathe.
distressed
have the
situation
breathable.
going
Jeans gotta
on.
breathe.
American
Real.
Eagle, and got to keep the locks fresh.
Come on
Okay,
now.
Come on.
and that's it.
Talk to him
Well,
about it.
y'all, I think that's gonna wrap up our You're Dipped collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice having y'all.
No.
We ended
This was
season
fun.
6 with a bang.
And that's another episode of the You're Dipped. And like I always say, man, stay dipped, my
Well, we gonna
friends.
see y'all at the same time next week, and don't forget to go subscribe to the Dipped and Whip podcast
Please.
and the
Yes,
You're Done
sir.
podcast.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Amen.
All right, now y'all gotta go. Peace.
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 We did it, y'all. All right,
I
B, it's
thought
over.
he showed it. I thought he was frozen.
This nigga.
I thought you was frozen, bro. I'm like, damn.
We gotta go
He's strong.
stage.
Say he's strong. He holding them arms up that long.
Right. That was
Hold on,
cool.
let me see if
That was
Crystal
fun,
here.
guys.
That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Package.
Mm.
Well, it'll
Oh,
be
all of them.
They not in there.